We have made it. We have made it. We are back. For those of you who don't remember, the man sitting to my left, the Urban Prepper Tup has returned. And although I appreciate the wonderful comments that I got about last week's show, as I tried to fill in and fly solo, we all know
was it a solo show last year? Oh God, last week. Okay.
I did. Here's the deal. I got on because I was like, oh shoot. So first off, I thought you were going to be there. Not last week, not spring break last week. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was
yeah, so I thought you were going to be there, and then normally you text me if you're going to be late, and I didn't get anything, and I was like, okay, well, we need to let the people know that something's going on. So I was like, well, this time I'll just jump on instead of sending out a social media post. I'll let everybody know hi, let everyone know something's going on, whatever. And we ended up chatting for like a half an hour. It was wonderful.
That's cool.
So
the show must go on. So yeah,
Like I thought I needed it. Apparently, no. Apparently,
I'm filler right now. So
exactly. So anyway, so we muddled through it, and then last week we canceled because everyone had things going on, and it was just not going to be a good thing. So we are back in full force. Tup has all of his teeth, which is super exciting.
Well, we have to give some backstory on that because
no, I think we don't. I think we just leave it alone and we let people wonder. Put in the chat what you think happened to Tup's teeth, and then we'll go. Anyway, welcome back. It's episode 18 on Prep Talk Live. I'm Casey with Cascadia Dispatch. Sitting next to me is the not so toothless wonder, the Urban Prepper. How was your week? And let everyone know. What was going on.
This week's going really well. Last week was spring break for my kids, and so I could have probably dialed in. We went traveling all around Washington and stuff, but Mom would have been pissed if I would have dialed into a live stream. So that was for my own safety. But but the previous week I was on pain medications in bed during the stream because I was having tooth pains. I was telling Casey offline during wardrobe and makeup when we were talking through that. So that I've mentioned on my channel before how I sleep with a CPAP lately, and so. And then I had a dentist appointment, and I've always been kind of a teeth grinder at night, especially when you're stressed out. So I've been trying out this mouth guard to help me prevent me from grinding my teeth, and gradually it was getting really bad. Where I think it was drying out my saliva, and it was like if your teeth don't have saliva on it, they feel exposed. And I've always had sensitive teeth anyway. That week, I was in an incredible amount of pain for teeth pain because it felt like my teeth were on fire and that they were going to fall out any second. And it was I had to do some emergency trips to the dentist and try to, because I was worried. I didn't want to show up on Prep Talk Live with dentures or anything, and not yet at least.
According to Chuck, 6 more payments and he's going to own his own teeth. So we're already we're in a good spot with that.
So the guy's like, oh yeah, maybe you should not take wear on the mouth guard. I'm like, well, you told me to. So, anyway, so for the past 2 weeks, I haven't had the mouth guard, and my teeth feel better again now. But I was really scared, and I was on some medication, some painkillers, and was cooped up for a couple days to try to recover from that. But yeah, for a moment, it was a scary thing to feel like that.
So we're glad you're back.
I'm back.
I
was drugged out totally.
We feel bad that it was
typical prepper. So,
but I think it's time that we get past that now.
Yeah,
I think it's time that because I have some questions. Okay. First question is, all the pain medication that they give you, is any of that saved for a future tooth emergency?
Now, I don't want to give out all my secrets on the internet because the internet's forever. But
of course. I've
been known to try to save stuff for emergency purposes if I could weather the storm.
You paid for it; it's yours.
Yeah, it's mine.
Exactly.
That's not for bartering either. That's
no. That's for when you really need to forget how bad things have gotten.
Yeah.
So the next question I have is,
yes,
I may have seen on your channel at one point, I think it was your channel, that the Adventure Medic Kit, the Dental Medic Kit.
Yeah.
So I went out when I saw it on your channel, as with most things when I see it on your channel, which is glad now because now I could just text you and be like, hey, what'd you get or whatever. But before I had to actually watch videos to understand these things. And I got 8 or 10 of those things.
Nice.
Did you use the Adventure medical dental kit?
It was like it was a pain thing. It wasn't like a repair of a tooth or anything like that. Yeah, those dental kits are awesome, like the emergency ones.
Mhm.
And I have it, but yeah, but that's more for like if you have a crown that needs to be fixed or something like in a survival situation. Now, this was just more like I was worried that I was gonna like bite an apple and just everything comes
And
off.
your
And
entire mouth was gonna fall
yeah,
out.
it really, I mean, it was scary. So, but yeah, so I didn't get a chance to use that prep, but I've used some other prep during spring break. We were doing a lot of road trips, and I got to use some preps there, and I brought some show and tell stuff. So, but
Oh, this is gonna be exciting.
yeah,
It's a chock full people in the chat, if you haven't already, go ahead and tell your friends and family. We got all kinds of fun stuff happening today.
yep,
Tup's back. He's brought presents. Or
yep,
not presents, but he's brought fun things to share.
yep.
I have a couple of things in my back pocket to share. It's not
All
really my
right.
back pocket. It's over here. I try to keep things out of my pants. Now, Tup, we were talking a minute ago. Here's the deal. Everyone who's been on our show knows that at some point it goes off the rails.
Yeah.
And some days it doesn't take very long. It was already off the rails while we were doing our hair and makeup.
Yep.
So we're coming in hot on this one here. So we were trying to come up with alternatives for Tup's mouth guard. Perhaps some sort of like a wound up t-shirt or something. And our old friend Tup went full Pulp Fiction style on this whole thing.
Yeah, like like you could have one of those apple, like I don't.
You want to be like a stuffed pig with an apple in your
know.
mouth? Or?
Yeah, you could like maybe instead of an apple, I could do like a headlamp, or I could have like they have the apple with the leather straps. I could do like the Molly webbing headlamp or something. And
wait a minute, what grocery store are you going to where the apples have leather straps?
Well, I think those are custom made at certain stores, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I said, people. Yeah. Here we go.
If anyone has an idea for something that doesn't dry out your teeth but prevents you from grinding, let me know. And I used to have a problem. We used to have a dog that I had a different mouth guard, and for some reason, I don't know why I'm sharing this on the internet, but okay.
That's okay.
We have little Italian greyhounds.
So continue.
Okay, we had little Italian greyhounds, and I was trying a certain mouth guard, and every morning I kept waking up and the mouth guard was gone, and I couldn't find it. What's going on here? Okay, I'm just gonna keep talking. And, we switched sides. Your microphone is off. Okay, I can't hear anything. I don't know if you could hear me, but I use wax in my mouth guard. That's from Modern Day Prepper. Casey, I have no idea what you're saying, so if you're talking, I'll keep talking.
All right, we're gonna try this.
You're back. Okay, I hear you now.
I'm back. All right.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
Okay.
So anyway, I used to have this dog that I would have these dreams that I'm being French kissed or something, and then I wake up and I found out it was my dog grabbing my mouth guard out of my mouth and stealing it and chewing on it. So that's anyway. I don't know.
That's fantastic. I will say though, I was just switching my headphone jack out, so I heard you talk about a family dog, and then nothing, and then used to chew on it. So I imagine that was a fantastic story.
We'll watch the rerun. Watch the rerun.
Exactly.
Right now it says my name is Durbin Prepper and your name is Chat.
Chat. Yeah, exactly. Well, sometimes you have to have an alias. We've talked about this whole gray man thing. Yeah. I'm just the Chat. Then no one knows. It's all a mystery. Look, I feel like there's always something that's just a little off on our streams, and it makes it's the imperfections that makes it perfect. And here's where we are now. That's what makes
us humans. Otherwise, we would just have like Max Headroom or something and be talking AI, and they'd be talking. So that's why we're human. So
yes, Sam, we appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. We're so glad you were able to make a live. Honestly, we're glad we were able to make a live sometimes. But thanks for joining us. If you haven't already, go ahead, hit the like button. Let YouTube know to share this with everyone. And hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I assume most of the people here already have. But, if you haven't already, go ahead, do that. Just the housekeeping sort of things that we do. So it sounds like you had quite the week.
Yeah.
Spring breaking. Were you out in the wilderness?
Yeah,
things, or were you...
Yeah, we did a lot of day trips. So we one of the funner. I don't know if this is a segue for the preps for me, but we can go to preps for me. Let's just do that.
Let's go to Preps for Me. It's our show.
We did a lot of drives. We were driving all over the place and stuff, and doing some sightseeing and stuff. And one of the days, my wife's like, "Oh, let's go to Mount St. Helens." And so I'm like, "Okay, let's go." And so we started driving over to Mount St. Helens, and not thinking, "Oh, well, maybe because it's a mountain, maybe the roads aren't ready for people to drive through in April." So, so we start driving, and we're like, "Oh, this it looks like it might be closed. Maybe the park's not open. So let's try anyway." So we drive all the way to this one place that we're going to, and then the road was basically like there was like a windstorm recently, so there's all these trees blown over and rock slides and branches and stuff. And my kids are all freaking out. They're like, "Don't turn around! I'm scared." I'm like, "Oh, this will be fun adventure." So, so we're going through all these windy roads. We eventually hit snow where we could not go any farther, and so I didn't want to be that guy that gets stuck up in the mountain and in the news somewhere or something. Local YouTuber gets stuck in the mountains, prepper and not prepared.
Yeah, exactly. Prepper unprepared.
Yeah,
in the snow.
But then, like, we're like, my daughter's like, "I gotta go to the bathroom," and I'm like, "Well, crap!" And she's and so the first prep that I have is this totally saved the day for that particular at the top.
If you pull out what I think you're gonna pull out, I'm gonna laugh so hard because I almost brought this thing. I think is what you're gonna do, and that would have been an amazing coincidence.
What does it start with? What letter?
I don't know, but it was purple.
Okay. This is not purple, but this is. I did a video on this. This is the Travel John. It's basically a travel urinal, and it totally saved the day because we were up in the mountain and it was like snow all over the place. She wasn't comfortable going out, and so basically it's a bag. It's kind of like a bark bag a little bit, but it has chemicals inside of it, so you could put it to where you need to go.
Yep.
And the liquid goes into it, and it basically turns it into like a gel-like substance, kind of like a diaper. And so you put liquid in it, and then it turns into a gel, so it's not going to, you could tip it upside down, nothing's going to happen. And it totally saved like this particular moment because she's not the best at like outdoor bathrooms.
That is fantastic.
The Travel John, I keep a couple of these in each of the vehicles, and I finally was able to use it for a family
for what you needed to.
Yeah, when you got to go, you got to go.
Yeah. So modern day prepper said, "Please don't tell me it's a shiwi."
Yeah.
and I think I don't know if that's what the one I have is called, but I think that's what it was called.
We were talking about that actually because I wanted. My wife's like, "Well, I want one of those shiwis," and for if I have to go, so I'm going to be making some improvements to my vehicle preps kit where we'll have not only the Travel Jump but also the shiwi. So
that is fantastic. Yeah. Yes, I was doing my lap in my garage as I tend to do for like ideas of what to do, show and tell, and they were sitting. We're reorganizing stuff, and they were sitting there. I was like, that's one that might be interesting. But I was like, I got another idea. We'll go with that one. There's a backup, and here you are with the thing.
Yeah,
we are on a bit of a similar.
We're kind of thinking alike.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we get along so well. So yeah, okay. So do you want to go with another one?
I got it. This is a real quick one. So same day. Was it the same day? It was before going on the trip. My wife, she burnt herself on her flat iron because, and then she like didn't react. Like if I burn myself, I immediately take my hand off or whatever. But she was like stunned that she was burning, and so I've left it there for a little bit. Finally got it off, and then she's like, "I'm burnt," and I'm me the prepper. "Oh, all right, I got just the thing." and so I highly recommend.
Hooray for skin burns!
Yeah, so is you gotta. I keep these on me in my mini kit. It's Manuka Honey with Tegaderm, and Tegaderm is like the transparent film that you get at the hospitals for cuts. And Manuka Honey works great for burns. It's like I guess the bees are from I think it's from New Zealand. They're like
from Manuka.
Yeah, they're magical bees, and they make magical honey, and it's really great for burns. And so I was able to do some medical repair to her, so we were able to go on the trip, and the Tegaderm and the honey worked great, and her fingers, it was a quick recovery. So yeah, so if you can keep a little packet of Manuka Honey like this and a couple Tegaderms, and it'll work wonders especially for burns.
That's fantastic.
That's my other show and tell.
No, those are two winners right there. I think that is fantastic. Love those. I'm just awaiting the text from my wife watching the stream being like, adding Manuka Honey to the Amazon cart.
Yep. It's expensive, but it's good stuff. And then also, it's when you do medical treatment on you, if there's any leftovers, you could just eat it and it's good. So, which you can't do with.
Is it good? Is it good? I've always thought Manuka honey was for like skin stuff and hair and whatever.
Well, it's used for a lot of different things. But I had some leftovers, so I used it, which you can't do. You can't do that with other medication like Preparation H or something. You can't eat it afterwards.
I don't think that, I mean, depending on the type of applicator, that's going to require a whole different level of medical intervention.
Be prepped with Preparation H. Just don't eat it.
Exactly. We found this guy on the mountain. He had a raging pink eye. It was amazing. We don't even know what happened. This is a fantastic show.
What did you bring?
What did I bring? You know what? Thank you for asking. I'm so glad. I'm very excited to tell you. So I brought two things because I love that you said Manuka honey. It's expensive. Like the bougie prepper is going to like be stopped by expensive honey. But anyway, so I brought two things. One is this, which is still in the box because I like it. So this is the Type S car. It's like a car jump starter and power bank thing. So I have been very skeptical about these because you watch like a bunch of videos and there's a bunch of them on Amazon that all seem to be knockoffs of something. And then there's like the battery tender, which is kind of the thing that everybody has talked about, or you get the big bulky ones. Yep. And you're always like, okay, if I actually like had a car issue, like will this thing actually jumpstart my car? And so I got it from Costco because I love to try out weird things from Costco. And I have had at least four car batteries die and jumped with this guy. Nice. So I can speak from experience that this thing actually works. And I like that it's from Costco, so it goes on sale. And
now, what's the brand? What's the brand?
It's called Type S, which I don't know if that's actually like a brand or if that's like a Costco brand. Because they have like the Kirkland signature, but then they also have like sub brands that they don't tell you about. So I don't know if this is like a Costco private label or not. But it's called Type S. And you can get it at Costco. They have it on like online or whatever. It's in its box because I just got two more to put in. I have them in each of the cars. And then I realized, okay, well, if we go somewhere else, I want to have it in an emergency kit and I want to have some other. So I was updating and adding them, and so I just got the one in the box because then you'll know what it looks like if you happen to go to Costco. But
I need to get one. I've had bad luck with some of the other brands, so I'd be curious on trying that one. So
yeah, it's one of those things that like I've watched the videos where people like test them and they never work the way that they're supposed to, and they never have the right amperage that they're supposed to. And so this one I've jump started my 4Runner with it at least twice or three times. I've jump started friend's minivan at least twice, so more than 4 times. We've jump started my wife's Highlander with it a couple of times. So they work really well. They can be a bit.
How long does it hold the charge for?
It seems to hold it pretty well. I will usually check it, like if we're gonna go on a trip or something, I'll check it ahead of time and then work it into some sort of like a recharging cycle every few months or something. It holds a pretty good charge, and it doesn't take a ton of charge to actually jump the battery. You can get 2 or 3 attempts at a jump before you really start to lose a bunch of power on it. So I was kind of surprised. I was expecting it to be like, okay, we're loading up everything, full blast the battery. And that's not what seems to happen. It just gives it a big jump right at the beginning.
Nice. I'm going to check it out. It looks like Chuck Howard also has one recommended from Project Farm on YouTube. So I've tried like the Anchor one, and I've tried a Rav Power one and other ones. And like when I needed it, I needed a jump and it didn't work. And I was like, it didn't. So
yeah, and that was the thing that was concerning, because I was like, Anchor is a brand that I've got. I think most of us have a bunch of car chargers or charging packs from them. And if you can't get it from them, you get it from Rav Power. It seems to be like those are the things. But I saw a bunch. I mean, there's a ton of them on Amazon, and they all have like reasonable ratings, but you don't really know. And there's the people that are like, this is garbage. And then there are people that are like, I swear by it. So this is one that I have myself actually used and been able to jump a car with.
Cool.
So I would stand behind it. I can't stand behind all the units because I don't do quality control for them. So your unit may not work as well as mine, but in theory they should work, and it seems to be a decent brand. And if it doesn't work, let's take it back to Costco.
Cool.
So that was one, and then the other one, and this kind of goes into the
Pony Girl had a follow-up question.
Oh my goodness, Pony Girl's using the capitalization, so I should have.
Yeah, it's all caps.
Cold or hot conditions. I haven't used it in extremes. So I've used it. I'm trying to remember. I mean, a couple of the days it was kind of cloudy and cold and rainy, and a couple of days it was like spring, summertime.
Well, we're in the Pacific Northwest, so we don't really get extreme conditions.
Yeah. We're not doing this in the Arizona desert or in like the Minnesota tundra. Yeah. But other than that, I think it's okay. As far as like the warming up and stuff, that would be an interesting thing to run a trial against and just see what would happen. But yeah, in general, it works out really well.
Cool. I like Steve's comment too.
Yeah, I just stopped speed reading it. I was like, okay, very refreshing to know some preppers have a sense of humor. Steve, I'm not sure if you're new to this or not, but we are the bad boys of prepping. You wouldn't know that, but we are the bad boys of prepping. And why is that? Because we actually enjoy ourselves. Because
I think in all the videos, like we're smiling at all of it. But it's very common, I think, for preppers, because it's like we're like deep diving into dark topics and that are very worrisome, and so it removes your smile sometimes. So
exactly, everyone gets all sad about things that
I like
in a lot of ways are outside of our
control. Yeah,
and then dwells on them. Whereas we're like, hey, you know what? Let's get some fun stuff. Let's get some gear. Let's come up with some plans. Let's do our best.
Yeah.
I was watching I think it was CNBC the other day. I watch CNBC every morning for the market open and everything, because when you're up at 4:00, that's apparently what you do. Yeah. Which is just crazy, and it's my own issues, and that's part of why I'm going to therapy. But anyway, so they were talking about, Dave Ramsey was on, and they were asking him about the great resets and things and going all gold, and he was having a conversation with Glenn Beck about the end of the world, and Dave Ramsey was like, you're only going to win on the end of the world trade one time, and I don't necessarily know what I'm going to do about that. So yeah, like, it is what it is. So we try to have a good time. We do what we can.
Did you see what Chuck said?
Wait, where's Chuck? Hold on.
No, after that one,
the Bougie Brothers,
and then after that, they are on a mission from God.
We need to make so many. Here's the deal. So many t-shirts. So many t-shirts.
I like that one.
Yeah.
They prophesized about us in the Bible. Actually, it's in Revelation. So.
Yeah, exactly. That super chat that we got in like 2 times ago. We're gonna spend way more than that getting all of the shirts for all of these things, which is fantastic.
You had a second prep. Sorry,
I did have a second.
I was so distracted by these great comments.
Mother Day Prepper, or Modern Day Prepper. Sorry, I don't know why I said Mother Day Prepper. Modern Day Prepper. So semi-serious question, not to kill the vibe. You can try, but like we get around that. When it comes to food preps, if one were to have, say, a deep trunk, do you think it's safe or smart to store non-perishable food in the trunk? I vote that we save this question until question time, and everyone hang around, and we'll get to the answer. What do you think about that? That's
a good question.
Figuring out how to run a show here.
I'm ready for it.
Intrigue. Okay, I'm gonna star it, and we're gonna hide it, and we'll come back to that one because that's a fantastic one.
Stay tuned.
So the other one that I've got is this guy, which goes to the spring. It was kind of the spring break, spring cleaning thing. So this is the Scan Snap 300, which is a little portable document scanner. It's super cool, and it basically it sits on you can set it on your desk. You can take it traveling. This camera is not the best angle to show it, I'm realizing, but it's actually really small. I have a flatbed scanner for scanning like news articles and like certificates and family things and stuff. But this is fantastic for just having on my desk and then scanning any sort of mail or receipts or documents, anything that we want. We went digital, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 or 8 years ago. I kind of made it a project to digitize all of our documents and then put them on hard drives and things. So we had them. And so keeping up with that is a fantastic scanner to do. It's great with documents. It's okay with photos too. We have a slightly larger one for faster documents that my wife has upstairs. And then I've got the flatbed scanner for like big like art projects that the kids make and that sort of stuff. I use that so we can kind of keep track of all of that sort of stuff.
That's awesome.
But that was one of my big spring cleaning things, was going through and taking all the mail that had accumulated and running it through while I was on conference calls and things, and just you run it through and do that thing. So
cool.
Anyway, all right. So to prep or not to prep?
We have spring cleaning. Do you purge or organize? Avoid
exactly. And I figured
26 minutes into the stream, we got
yeah, exactly. 26 minutes in, like we're actually doing pretty well based on how we've been doing the last few nights. So the thought here in this idea was, you know, when I posed this topic originally, we were in the midst of spring break and spring cleaning. It's a little over, but people still do it. A lot of people, when they're doing spring cleaning, are purgers, and they just want to get everything out of the house, just get it out. And then there are other people that are more organizational, like, hey, everything that's in here has got a little out of whack. Let's organize. You are, of course, known for your organizational systems and things. And so what I was thinking was, you know, taking the opportunity of this spring cleaning and thinking about things that we get rid of, things that we find to organize. Did you do any of that while you were gone, while your mouth was on fire and you were out of the house? I feel like the answer to this is no, but you know, it was the topic that I had.
I definitely like the idea of purging before you do the organization, because I don't know, you started accumulating a lot of just crap that like, and so I actually I canceled it because of the teeth problems, but I rented a dumpster rental basically because I wanted to just dump up a bunch of stuff, like especially that we have a lot of different especially outdoor stuff. We have a bunch of stuff for gardening and stuff that I wanted to get rid of, and it's hard to get rid of baby equipment like high chairs and stuff. Like you can't donate them anywhere. It's hard to dump. And so anyway, but I rescheduled that for later. But I think it's easier to organize after you've done a little bit of a purge first. So like that goes for anything, like the refrigerator. Eventually the refrigerator gets a bunch of stuff. Oh, look at this old cheese in here I haven't seen for a while. So it's easier to do the organization after you've done the purge. And I think that goes for anything. My room needs a purge. If you I have some stuff around. I have all sorts of stuff around me, including my red stapler. But,
your stapler, well, that's good. I'm glad no one took that from you.
Yeah, no one took it. Yeah. So, but again, yeah, I think there's a fine line between prepping and hoarding. Hoarding's like a, you know, kind of a mental thing too. Like it's really people that are. I don't think that preppers are hoarders at all, because hoarders, it's really sad, like to bag up, you know, poop and stuff like that and like save it in the shower. I've seen like that's horrible. Like we're like doing this for a purpose with a strategy, and we like bartering and stuff, and it's like a totally different thing. But
I laugh not because the mental illness is funny, but because you went to poop.
That's I went there. I went there.
We are children. That's
yeah, I find it easier to have some kind of a cleaner slate than what it was before, and then organize from there.
Yeah, I like that. My wife and I have in our relationship refer to, I am the broad strokes guy and she is the detail. So when it comes to the purging, like I will just wholesale shelves, and she'll tell me, hey, we should wholesale a shelf, and I'll just do that. And then she'll go in and actually look and check for things and make sure that like everything is organized. So we over spring break did a bunch of kind of finishing our garage plan. And so it was a lot of, oh, actually we're going to do more shelves. And so getting the shelves and moving everything around. And she was kind of the organizational piece behind the like, okay, what do we want to have on this rack? And what do we want to have? And what's the flow going to be of everything. But yeah, it's definitely, purging it, I think, makes it easier to organize what you actually have and then refill, which my wife told me I can't do. She was like, just because we're getting new shelves does not mean you get to fill them. And I was like,
well, sometimes when you do the purge,
that's not what the Amazon cart says right now. Right now it says.
Sometimes when you purge, you find stuff that you forgot about, and you could it could alter what you organize too. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was a lot of finding the like random medications that we had gotten, especially like at the beginning of 2020 when it was difficult to find things and nobody knew what was going on. And so it was like, okay, kid medication and things that we would get, we got an extra bottle of this, we got an extra bottle of that, and then ended up not needing them and keeping them. And so, so there was a lot of that. And I think on the hoarding versus prepping thing, that's always a hot topic because I think that's one of perspective a little bit. I tend to think of it as an intent. A lot of people that are hoarding, they're either doing it for, a mental illness, or they're doing it in a way that they're trying to get stuff that they're never going to use. Like the people that would put up the hand sanitizer where they had a pallet of it and they were trying to sell it, for incredible prices or anything like that. You're never going to use it. So why are you doing that in times of a shortage?
Yeah, I don't even cut that. Those people aren't hoarders to me. They're just like opportunists that are trying to make the quick buck, like at the expense of others. Like it's messy.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for me, like there's kind of stocking up where we will, if we know there's something we're going to use, we might get 6 months supply of it. We might get a couple of months extra every time. So we build up a stockpile. So if you come to our house and look in our garage, like you'll see the year's worth of toilet paper. Thank you again to the Urban Preppers video to tell me the toilet paper math. Speaking of poop talk. But we didn't go out and buy that many cases of toilet paper all at once. We did it over time, and the intent is that will last us for a year. So I think there's a balance of intent and supply, and not going out and just, hey, we're going to wholesale take a shelf just because we can, and then not use it and intend to basically waste it because you just wanted to have it more than somebody else.
Yeah, and I do think that preppers we're willing to part with a lot of things, like when you watch like the show Hoarders, there's a TV show on it, like they'll have stacks of newspapers or something. Again, it's really sad stuff, and they do not want to get. It's like I don't know why, but they do not want to get rid of it. Preppers, like, we're all into barter. Oh, I have some rice here. I'll trade it for toilet paper. Oh, okay, cool. That's a good. That's what we do. It's not we don't have the sentimental value. At least I don't think so.
Yeah, I think there's also, it's an interesting thing with kind of where one term becomes a slang or derogatory term for something else, and I think that happens a lot with prepping in general, where there are people who are prepared, but then the term prepping or prepper has this kind of negative connotation about you're in the wilderness, you're in the woods with paint on your face, and you're doing all kinds of stuff. And it's like, okay, but that's not, tinfoil hats. And I often say, tinfoil hats are so last season. That's a whole different thing than making sure that like reasonable possible outcomes you are trying to avoid.
Yeah, I think Doomsday Preppers set us back a few years because they're making fun of us about preppers. But I think a lot of people equate a prepper to a survivalist. Oh, you're a prep. Oh, you're a prepper. Okay, one of those Amazon jungle guys. And no, I don't. I don't want to use a bow drill or some friction-based drill. I just want to have a big lighter. Like, I want to be ready for it. So to me, that's a prep. To me, preppers and survivalists, that's not a one-to-one thing. Oftentimes, you'll have some. They might be, but they're prepper adjacent. But
they are what you would refer to as prepper. I don't know what the camera is doing here, but you're prepper adjacent.
I don't. I don't consider myself a survivalist whatsoever. So, but I do consider myself a prepper. But
yeah, and I think it's kind of like the hoarding thing. It's when I would tell people that we were getting extra Clorox wipes or whatever, or we had an extra case of those, an extra Costco package of them. People say, "Oh, you're hoarding toilet paper. You're hoarding Clorox wipes." And I'd be like, not hoarding them. We have a stockpile. We intend to use them.
Mhm.
If I was hoarding them, I would just be sitting there and, staring at them or collecting them or something like that, which is, I think, not the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of like modern times. There's a lot of terms that people use that, and it kind of loses its meaning. You apply it to one thing because you don't like them or something like that, or I'm trying not to get flagged by the algorithms. Let me see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Don't say the algorithm.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Look, we all know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And that's okay. All right. So a couple of things. Let's see. One thing is Digital Preppers here.
Nice.
So
I saw that.
Shout out to Digital Prepper.
I'm going to be talking to Digital Prepper on Friday. We're having a live stream with
with Sarge.
With Sarge. Because the last time, I think it was like my son's birthday, and I scheduled a live stream, and Mom was pissed. No. so this is round 2 of that one.
So what happened is you scheduled one with Digital Prepper, and Mom got so pissed you had to come up with an excuse not to do prep. You're like, oh, but my teeth, and then now I see what's happening.
Well, that was a few weeks before that one, 2 weeks ago. So I think it was about a month ago. But yeah, we're gonna get Digital Prepper back, and I saw that Digital Prepper basically said I got to wipe my whole digital presence online. So now I need to watch that video. I think that's the latest one from today.
Wait, we have to wipe our entire digital presence?
That's what he says. That's what he says.
Oh my goodness! Is this going to be covered on Friday, or is it? Does he?
We're gonna have to talk. He has a video that just came out, and we have to go. I'll put a link to it as we're talking. So.
Okay. Should we shut down the stream right now?
Shut it down.
Wait a minute. How do we get rid of our digital presence if we're talking about it on a live stream, which is digital?
Yeah, I don't know. I try to be very careful, like with my digital presence. Like I have, I use a de-googled phone that has I have the camera blocked on it. I use Signal and other secure communications, and I have like a social media phone. Where is it at here? This is my TikTok phone. So my TikTok phone is this one that there's nothing on it except for TikTok, and that's what and so I try to be careful with that, but it's, if they want to find me, they can find me, I guess, but I try to be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah. I live stream my entire life only on TikTok, just because I just am like, not only do I want to use that specific app for it, but just everyone can do it. And then I have like a little, like it's live streaming, like my passwords, credit card numbers, just all the things. I just share them with anyone who asks. Specifically if they're from another country, I feel like that's safe. They're not here, so it doesn't matter.
It's kind of weird. I was just talking with my wife that like there's no videos of me as a kid, like my youth is not documented whatsoever. Like, and it's
you just appeared.
Yeah, it's just
like
was
birthed into reality.
Well, I was kind of thinking I'd like to see, like, watch a video of my grandpa or my dad or something, or myself when I was a kid. And there's none of that. Like so I'm like off the grid. At least the first half of my life is off the grid. Second half is I just
your facial recognition as a child is non-existent.
Yeah, that's safe. But now, like, I've blown it by starting a YouTube channel. So.
Yeah, I only use those face changing apps because I feel like those are fun.
I don't use those. I'm so paranoid.
I only take selfies using unregistered face changing apps.
Yeah, I'm worried that they're building some robot version of me somewhere.
Someone already owns your presence in the metaverse.
Yeah,
that's already
it's scary.
And surprise, it's Digital Prepper who's going to come out and find out that in fact he didn't wipe everything. He's just been collecting all of ours.
Yeah. I put a link to Digital Prepper's video in the chat room for those that want to watch that one. So
fantastic. Welcome in everybody. We got more people flooding in. Welcome. If you haven't already, let's see. We've talked about porta-johns in the wilderness. We've talked about Tub's teeth that were on fire. We've talked about
not eating. Don't eat preparation H.
Not eating preparation H. We've talked about putting all of your documentation online for the world, preferably on TikTok.
Someone also said that the conversation always goes to poop. Is what
exactly. I think that was modern prepper, modern day. Yeah, there are some things that we can guarantee you on this stream.
Yeah,
we work very hard. We will have some interesting things to share. They might be budget, they might be reasonable, they might be bougie. We're gonna talk about what we did last week, and we're going to come up with some question, and at some point we can guarantee it will go off the rails. And you just got to tune in to find out when that is. What point in here does it go off the rails? And surprise for everyone who's new, it went off the rails way before we even went live. So
I just want to set the record straight that, I mean, poop jokes aren't my favorite, but they're a solid number 2. Sorry.
7 million subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. This man has.
I better watch that digital prepper video and delete my digital presence because it's going down. So
anyway, okay, so let's get to the questions. Let's go back to the question because we told everyone, we've teased it, we've talked about it. Modern day prepper, semi-serious question. She was concerned she would kill the vibe. We very strongly let her know that is not possible. We will bring it all back unless we try to kill the vibe, which we also try to do every once in a while, but we bring it back around. So coming to food preps, if you were to have, say, a deep trunk, and I am curious about the definition of deep trunk. Are we talking about like SUV? Are we talking about putting a body in there? Like, how deep is this trunk that you have? And why we refer to it as like, are there shallow trunks? I didn't know that was a thing. I know like on sports cars and things, they have very small trunks, but I don't know anyone driving around in like a Lambo who's thinking about an emergency situation needing a get home bag.
He says Jeep Renegade is what modern day prepper says.
Okay. Also, hey, if you're in the chat and you have a Lambo and you put a go bag in it, let us know like how that works out in the chat. Do you think it's safe or smart to store non-perishable foods in the trunk?
Yes. You should.
Yeah.
I think you should. I have a little like a fall. It's like it's not a deep trunk in our SUV, but it's a little storage area, and I think we keep a few different things in there, including like medical kits and like umbrellas and fire extinguishers and stuff like that. But having some snacks in there, whether it be for like even if you're stuck in traffic or you're stuck in Mount St. Helens on a road trip or something like that. I think like the trail mix jerky, I think all those are good. Now it depends where you live, because like if you live in Arizona, like it gets so hot that it spoils really quickly. And but where I live, at least in the Northwest, where we reside in the Pacific Northwest, like
hey, I don't know if we do or not. According to Digital Prepper, may not like. Yeah, we might not even be. We might Canada. I don't know. Mexico, yeah. Who knows? We're somewhere. We're somewhere broadcasting live.
Yeah, but not don't store like chocolates or anything like that. But I think like the trail mix or anything along those lines, beef jerky is a good one. Even like MREs would probably be pretty good too. So
yeah, so the food storage, especially like in the car, was one of the big things that I used to get the kids a little more involved when we started down the prepping journey. Once we got past the slumber parties and in tents and sleeping bags and some of that sort of stuff, starting to make them a little more situationally aware of things that they might, thinking ahead a little bit, was getting the protein bars and going out and letting them do the taste test. And so that was super fun. I think we did that 3 or 4 years ago, where we just went out and I got like one of every kind of protein bar that they thought they might like. And then we just did a big taste test and let them pick whatever flavor they want. And then we got, I don't know, 10 or 12 of them and put them in the back of each of the cars. Try to cover them up. We usually have like a blanket or a little basket or something in the back of the car with a blanket and some stuff. So we try to keep it in there just so they don't melt in case it is a warmer day. Yeah. But for the most part, like, that's fantastic. I would say, just like with anything else, you want to make sure you're cycling it through. And if it's, to Tup's point, if it gets super hot and things might spoil, you might want to switch it out, or maybe do like chocolate covered granola bars in the winter time, and then maybe do something else like dried fruit or something in the summertime. So I might want to think about that just from a perspective.
Yeah, I think that most likely it's not going to be used for some SHTF situation. It's going to be you're out and about, you're at a park. Oh yeah, I got an extra couple bars. I mean, I think you'll find it that, I mean, I find that when I have snacks in there, they get used. It doesn't just sit there forever. So especially if I know that it's there. I think if I did live in a hot climate like Arizona, you'd have to kind of bring that in more. It couldn't be in the trunk. It'd have to be something that you have in some kind of cooler that you take out each day. But in general, I think it's good to have food in the car.
Yeah. Chuck would like to remind everyone not to leave a main dish.
Yeah.
in.
Don't leave raw chicken or anything.
Yeah. Snacks really are what you should be thinking. Now, I would say for the protein bar thing, we ended up getting the builder bars, which I was surprised that the kids liked, but those had like 20 grams of protein in it. So if you can get something that's got some protein, especially if you're going to be there for a little while, that's probably better than just getting a bunch of candy bars and putting them in there. But I also know that, for example, my father-in-law, who is diabetic, he has some candy and stuff that he keeps around just in case he needs a sugar boost real fast. So
it's good for morale purposes too, I think, for kids. So,
yeah. Yeah, exactly. So that's
digital prepper saying, granola bars good, water good. I've been going with glass water bottles instead of having the plastic ones, because I find that the water tastes like plastic after a little bit, and
it's like seasoning.
Yeah, it's I'm not a fan of the seasoning. So, but with the glass,
it's like gluten and MSG. It's delicious.
The glass ones taste great, even if it's like super hot. Like the water still's good. It looks like a. Sorry, I'm reading all the comments as they're coming in.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments about your jokes that I'm trying.
Steve James, yes, you can steal the joke for your classroom, and
and
please provide a report on that.
Yeah, we expect clips of that. We want to see.
I have more of them. You'll never know when they come out
though. So it's more so that I'm thinking about additional food for SHTF trip to the bug out location that won't fit in the bug out bag.
Have it be an add-on module to your bug out bag. Totally. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I guess my question then on that is, are you wanting to have, like, to Tup's point about MREs or something, like, is the idea to have like meals there that are like pre-staged, so if you are going, they're already there and you don't need to throw that in your car? Or is the idea to have something that's a little more snackable for a more kind of everyday, I would say every day, it's not every day that you get like stuck in traffic or in a snowstorm or something, but for that 24-hour maybe delay or something like that?
Yeah. I thought Storm had a good comment. I was going to mention that too, as far as like a small Coleman style cooler. Like that's a good idea, especially if you're in Arizona or whatever. I think that'd be a great way to help insulate things a little bit more. But
yeah, exactly.
I've been toying with the idea. I'm not ready for the video yet, but I'm trying, because people, especially nowadays, people are breaking into cars all left and right. We've already talked about catalytic converters and stealing gas, and if you leave a candy bar probably on your they'll probably break the car just to get that, but break into it. But I've been experimenting with 5-gallon paint buckets, basically, that look like there's paint in it and I think if you could, I'm experimenting with that to store the get home bag, because I don't think someone would want to steal an old crummy looking 5-gallon paint can, but who knows?
Especially if you say that they're like pre-1973 or whatever the year is that they took lead out of the paint.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
Make it like a lead paint bucket.
But I'm working on it. So it's not only the storage for my get home bag, but it could be a porta potty as well. But maybe if for someone,
it's a transformer.
It's a transformer, but you could, if you really want to, you might be able to insulate it then to store food in there for your add-on to your bug out bag while going to your bug out location. And of course, if you wanted to do caches along the route, that's also, a lot of people do that.
Do we want to talk about Pooptimus Prime? Like, is that
wait, is that in the comment section? Or?
No, that's just something I came up with when we were talking about you making a toilet and Transformers, and I just put it together.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
live. That's live YouTube for you, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Pooptimus Prime.
Yeah, that's
coming to a shirt also near you.
Another poop joke, but it was a little corny. Sorry. I'm sorry.
We try to be reasonably cool, and then like we just it's two dads on the air talking about
all these dad jokes coming out.
Exactly.
Someone was commenting that I
turned 40, but I just didn't really fully understand that I was embracing that as much as I just do every time.
Yeah, I saw some people talking about the survival, like the lifeboat survival bars. I've tried all of them and I've done videos, and I don't recommend them anymore. I don't do them. But Daytrix, out of the one, if you were to go with one, I would recommend the Daytrix ones. They're the best of that I've tried. So there's like Mainstay and Mayday and SOS and Daytrix, and they're all bad. But Daytrix is the best of the bads.
It's the best of the. It's the best of the worst. It's the best of the
and
awful.
I like the Daytrix water pouches too. But
yeah, I think
I saw someone also commenting that they like that we're not talking about the sky is falling. Scary.
Oh,
scary
where is
topic.
that person? We're gonna frame that comment.
That's from that's at 1816 24-hour time.
Wait, 1816. Wait, what are we talking? Oh, I was like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? There's no screen name that's 1816. I get it. You're talking about yes, this comment right here.
That's nice. Yeah,
Better than this guy's fear mongering like some of your comrades. We refer to them as friends.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's
mostly because there was a big thing that came out today from YouTube around certain types of videos that are going to be
demonetized. You got that too. Okay,
yeah. I mean, it came to me just like it was like a piece of mail. Like I didn't get a call like I'm sure you did. They were like, look, can you let your 10 million subscribers know, please, Mr. Tup, don't do that.
I got it,
buddy.
Yeah, I put on my pants one leg at a time, just like everyone else. But no,
and then what I do, I make gold records.
But what I do, I make prepping videos. I got that letter too, or the email, and it didn't really affect me because I don't talk about it anyway. So it's
I don't either. The Doom Zoom is going to be a little interesting.
Yeah, we're game planning the next Doom Zoom, and I love that name. So so I forward. We were talking. I'm like I forwarded it. FYI. So I mean on my channel, and especially on this one, we talk about a lot of the lighter side of things, and nothing.
Exactly.
It doesn't impact us.
No. I think we try to talk around the big topics. I think there are lots of Canadian prepper, city prepper. They really like to go in on those.
Well, yeah, and everyone we all have we're all different parts of the we're all preppers and we have different inputs. Yep. We're all different pieces of the pie, and you add them all together, and that's kind of the preparedness community. So there's some people that focus on medical stuff, solely on medical stuff, and some people that dive into current events, and some people that focus on organization, and some people do poop jokes. And so it's all part of the equation. But I keep seeing this comment come out about the S kits. I don't want to get us flagged.
Yeah,
I have 50 of them, and I've never had to use one yet, but I do my own custom S kits. So but they're pretty handy because they're in it's like an orange kind of a packaging that it contains hand sanitizer and some toilet paper and a little bag if you have to.
It's not a brown kit.
It's not the brown note.
From the color of prepping guru, that's a huge miss. That's a huge miss.
For me, it's white. That's a hygiene item, and that's a white.
Oh, item. Okay, that's right. Because bleach.
Yeah. So, it's like white. It's kind of sterile. Like when you go in an operating room, it's not brown in there. It's it's a white, all white room.
I mean, it depends on what they're operating on. I would imagine. I mean, how well it goes.
But brown is. Maybe I should rethink the poop module and have it be a brown.
Mr. Reddy has entered the chat, and I think based on what we're talking about, he would like to leave the chat.
Prepper Agenda, welcome. I got to respond. I missed your message. I was gone on a break. Prepper Agenda, so I'll respond to that after.
Yeah, his mouth was on fire.
Yeah.
In case you were here, we'll just catch you up. His mouth was on fire, and that was the thing. Also, Storm, I don't know what's going on. I'm seeing your chat in my chat, so I'm not sure what was happening on, but you have not been banned or shadow banned or anything like that. Your comments are greatly welcome, especially from the cooler comments and all that sort of stuff.
The compressed tablets, the toilet paper tablets they're pretty nice. I have after I watched that video, I have 1,000 of them now. I don't know what to do with it.
So okay, I have a question about those compressed tablets. So
yep, don't need them.
Well, yeah, I would imagine. I in order to make them work though, you need to make them wet, but aren't they towels to dry things off?
Yeah, it's kind of a conundrum. It's kind of like it's wet. You have to make it wet, kind of like like a baby wipe wetness. So you
Okay.
could still use the baby wipe to clean up stuff, and
Okay. All right.
they're pretty
Yeah.
they're pretty durable though. But yeah, you kind of need to make them wet. So I don't know if you have to pee on them or what, but you have to
Wouldn't
you have
that
to do
defeat the
something.
whole purpose of what you're trying to do?
I don't know. That's a good something to think about.
Oh.
That's why I haven't used them yet, because I prefer I like the dude wipes. That's my favorite thing, because they're individually packaged. Do I have any here? I don't have any right on me, but
Yeah,
I carry.
yeah,
dude wipes are awesome because they work the same. You don't have to get them wet, and they're awesome.
They come pre-wet.
Yeah.
They're just ready to go. Yeah, the dude wipes. Once again, I watched your videos. Pay attention. But I actually got a couple different versions. I got they make a couple different versions of dude wipes, and then I also got the Target version. They have like a shower wipe thing, which is actually kind of nice. So we kind of double up on those. I think the Target shower wipes are a little bit bigger than the dude wipes.
The dude wipes are a little small.
Yeah,
I like,
and you don't want a small dude.
Yeah,
that's not a thing.
Yeah, it's not one false move is
exactly.
Yeah, I actually like the Kirkland baby wipes. We have Kirkland baby wipe packages unopened everywhere because they're awesome. So you could buy a big pack of them like this for $20. And I think even if you don't have babies, you should definitely get them. So
yeah, and to my wife who's listening and who told me that I had too many dude wipes and I couldn't get any more Kirkland baby wipes because we have so many boxes.
Yeah,
Tup said I need more. It's just a fact. It just is.
You should have one in each vehicle for sure. And if you have a multi-floor house, each floor of the house should have one. But don't put them down the toilet because you'll clog your sewer line. So
yeah, that would be a bad thing.
That's a SHTF situation.
I mean, I guess that would be some range to get to the fan in the ceiling. That's not. Yeah. I mean, that would be a whole. You might have to do some remodeling if that's the case. Yeah. Also, just yeah. My wife is like, yeah, no, that's false. No, hey, we had this conversation, and many dude wipes were lost. That was the thing.
Even the dude wipes, I don't think technically you're supposed to flush them, but they're pretty small. But the Kirkland baby wipes, yeah, definitely not. It looks like I don't want to get you in any kind of home trouble by. I don't want your wife mad at me. So.
That's you know what I mean. You don't want your mom pissed. It happens.
Well, you're already really popular in my household because my son loves your Legos, and so he's always talking about it. So. Frankly, I'm sick of it.
You know what? That's fair. That's very fair. Yes, we have. We were working on the new. We actually haven't gotten any. I haven't gotten. I'm going to say this, but then my wife's going to jump in and be like, yeah, no, you have. I haven't gotten any Legos in a little while. Lego has been on a bit of a transition where they're some of the new stuff hasn't come out yet. So I have my list of things, but we haven't. We've been kind of doing the backstock of actually building things because there is a stockpile of those, and that's a whole nother thing. Let's see. There were a bunch. 2 channels.
I think there's some confusion. We have to, because you're on. We're broadcasting all over the place, and so there's not a unified chat room.
Yes, that is true. For anyone, we usually don't have this many people, so that's part of it, and so that's fantastic. But yeah, so if you're in Tup's Got Preps chat, you're going to see some of the things. If you're in the Cascadia Dispatch, chat, you're going to see that, and then. We have a unified chat that is because we're broadcasting on both YouTube channels and Cascadia Dispatch Facebook page and Twitch channel because I started one of those because why not? Yeah. So anyway, Twitch is not a very popular place for the prepping world.
The preppers they're not big on Twitch, that's for sure. They're bigger we're bigger on TikTok than on Twitch.
Yes. TikTok is a much better. There are actually
TikTok is actually it's very prepper friendly and it's very homesteading friendly, gardening friendly.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna have to refine your follower list because the default is just garbage. Like, I don't. But once you get it refined, and they kind of know the stuff that you're interested in, there's a following there. So
they have one of the I saw Prepper Agenda had a great question that I'm gonna flag it here because we're gonna get back. They have one of the most amazing algorithms for finding things that you're interested in. I think out of all of the social media things, there's lots of things about it that I like and I don't like, but like they really like can find what you find entertaining.
They're almost too good because like there's been now like for some reason they think Tup likes blackhead popping videos and that they just flood me with those. I'm like, dude, I can't watch all of them, but
but you try.
Like it's all this like dermatologist. It's but I find them fascinating because then I'm looking at I wonder what tool that is. Should I add that to my kit?
I don't even know it. Here's the deal. My wife would really appreciate this conversation. I want to vomit. This is just
you'll never eat the anything bagels from Starbucks ever again after.
Oh God.
I see the Clubhouse.
Yes.
Prepper Agenda. Yeah, I got on Clubhouse because Prepper Agenda told me to get on Clubhouse, but I actually haven't been using it for several months now. I got on Clubhouse because a lot of the people. So in my real job, I work with a lot of brands doing social media and digital marketing and analytics and all that sort of stuff. So a lot of times when people are like, "Oh, they're tracking your data," I'm like, I can tell you for sure that they're not, because like I know like they may capture it, but they have no one to actually look and tell you what's happening. No one cares what you bought from that place. They care that a type of person buys a type of thing from somewhere. Like that's what they care about. But I got on Clubhouse because it started, and a lot of people in the agency and brands were starting to play around with it. And so I was like, oh, let me see what it is. I got invited, and there weren't a lot of prepping places on there. So I like started a room and did some stuff. And what I found was that it was really limiting at the time. I think there are some new features that make it a little more interesting, but it was really limiting. Huh? We should make our return to Clubhouse.
Our return to Clubhouse? Okay. Yeah.
I'm hearing a commotion in the background because I know I have to go to a Boy Scout meeting in a second.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get to Tony's question.
Yeah, Tony's question.
Girl, yes. Okay. Is there one thing that your preps that you over prepped? I counted 30 pounds of coffee beans today, and that's scary. You obviously don't live in Portland or Seattle. 30 pounds of coffee beans is like an afternoon. Just saying.
I don't think 30 pounds is too unreasonable, but
we're very Northwest. We're very that's
over prepped.
Things that we've over prepped.
I've over prepped on backpacks and flashlights. I don't need another flashlight or another backpack.
Blasphemy, sir.
Let me think of like another thing that's
I think there were certain things I tend to over prep, and this is sometimes a food thing, and it's an accident. It's we'll find something that we really like, and so if it goes on sale, I'll buy 6 months worth of it to try to save money on it, and then inevitably, like 3 weeks later, either we change our minds or one member of the family becomes allergic to something in it or something, and so like we can't anymore. So I did that like with oatmeal for a while. We had a bunch of oatmeal, and then nobody was eating oatmeal because it wasn't the gluten-free kind, and we needed the gluten-free kind, and so it kind of sat there, and I kept it for an emergency. So those tend to be the things that are problematic. I think there were go ahead.
I am over prepped for some like non-perishable food items, but I feel like I'm over prepped now, but maybe 10 years from now, maybe I'm under prepped. So I don't think it's a bad idea to be over prepped like on rice. Like, I have 1,000 pounds of rice. It's all in Mylar bags, but it lasts like 30 years in there. So maybe you're over prepped now, but maybe 10 years from now, maybe I'm a little under prepped on it. So I think as long as you're not over prepped on something that you'll never like, if you have I don't know,
milk. You don't want to be
You don't want to be
over prepped.
That's a great one. Yeah. You
Yeah.
don't want to be over prepped on milk.
I think things with like expiration, like real expiration dates, there are things like baby wipes and things where they have like a best buy date or something like that. Like, okay, get them a few extra, and if it goes past it, like maybe those wouldn't be your first choice, but they would still be workable in an emergency.
Yeah.
There are certain things that like we got at the beginning of 2020 because we weren't sure. Yeah, my wife. Yeah, dude wife. Yeah. Thank you. So we got a stuff because it was on shortage and because we didn't know what we were dealing with. We tried to get stuff when it was available because that was the best information we had. And then over time, we realized we just changed our lifestyle choices and things, so we didn't end up using it. So we ended up with like, we have probably more Clorox wipes now than we need. We don't have like a pallet full of them, but we've got more than we would normally have in a rotation because we just weren't sure what we were going to be doing. So I think those are the things that kind of happen.
I think if you're don't be over prepped on something that expires quickly. So I think that's it.
Yeah. Don't only enough milk for you to drink unless you're getting it powdered or something.
Yeah.
Or freeze dried. Conversation for next week maybe is freeze dryers.
Yeah, we should talk about that.
Yeah,
I feel I'm about to get raided in my office here. So.
Okay, you go do that.
I hear noises.
Yeah, I have to go protect the dude wipes before they get thrown away. Thank you everyone for coming and joining us. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I saw some new faces. Welcome to the party.
Good to see Van City Prepper here. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we have Van City Prepper and Prepper. We got all kinds of people. We're here every Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific time, unless we're not, and then we try to let you know in advance, unless we don't, and then hey, it is what it is.
It's a free show.
Exactly.
You get what you pay for.
You don't become the #1 podcast among preppers and non-preppers by planning. Like that's what like Casual Prepper podcast. That's probably the #1 prepper podcast. They plan and do things. We include the non-preppers, so it is what it is.
We're one of the better podcasts in our price range. So it's
that is fantastic.
We literally make tens of dollars for
dozens of cents.
Yes.
Dozens of cents. All right, everyone. Thanks again. Have a wonderful Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday evening or Wednesday night, depending on which time zone you're in. And we'll see you next week.
Someone says you become #1 with poop conversation. Thank you. We did it. It doesn't mean #2. Sorry.
You know what? That was a real loose ending. That's what that was.
All right.
I'll talk to you later. Thanks, everybody.